Welcome to tonight's webinar from Professional Educators of Tennessee, your member benefits financial planning services. Frank Duval, one of our financial planners, is going to walk us through some of the services available to members, as well as how we can together serve you no matter the stage of your career. During the presentation, if you have any questions, type those to us in the chat or questions pane, and I'll direct those to Frank. Take it away, Frank.
All right, thank you, Samantha. Good evening, members of the Professional Educators of Tennessee. For those that are live with us tonight, this is y'all's meeting, so please feel free to ask us any questions. I do encourage that. So like Samantha said, there's the chat box, so please use it to your advantage. If you're listening back on podcast or later online, we'll have our contact info available for you to ask us any questions later. So the purpose of this presentation is simple. We're just wanting to introduce ourselves as your 4 regional financial service professionals. You'll hear from most of us tonight. And we will also give an overview of how we work with our clients. Having a little feedback there, I believe. Apologize for that. But we will also give an overview of how we work with our clients and how we will work with the members of PET. Okay, there we go. All right, so your 4 regional financial service professionals is Byron Peacher. He will be representing West Tennessee counties, and I'll introduce him here in just a moment. Again, my name's Frank Duval, and I'll be representing Middle Tennessee counties. We do have Tim Sharp on the line, and he will be representing the Southeast Tennessee counties or Cumberland Plateau areas as well. Brent Christian is not on the line with us, but I have some notes on Brent, and I'll be glad to tell his story. He'll be representing Northeast Tennessee counties. And so it's my pleasure to introduce to you Byron Peacher. He will give an overview of a little bit about himself and just give us a little hello there, Byron.
Hey, Frank, can everybody hear me?
Yep.
Thank you guys for having us on. My name is Byron Peacher. I was born and raised in Dover, Tennessee, which is the West Tennessee area, so I'm familiar with the West Tennessee side. My background is in pharmaceutical sales, durable medical equipment sales, and I've been with Capital Financial Group for almost 2 years now, providing financial services. I'm married. I have a 2.5-year-old daughter, and we reside in Murray, Kentucky right now. So I work out of the Paducah, Kentucky office, but I'm right on the border of Tennessee, and I used to call on physicians and medical clinics all over West Tennessee. So that's a little bit about me.
That's great, Byron. I appreciate you being on the call with us. And again, for anybody in the West Tennessee areas, Byron will be a great resource for you. So feel free to email him, give him a call, and he'll be glad to help you. All right. My name's Frank Duval, and I was born and raised here in Nashville, Tennessee. I enjoy doing music. I grew up in a very musical family. It's a passion and something that I feel like a lot of people can enjoy, and so I love to share that with people. I'm very heavily involved in my community, and I just love to be able to volunteer and serve in some shape or form, either in the special needs community or serving with underprivileged individuals, underprivileged children. I enjoy doing those service acts. I've been with Capital Financial Group for a couple of years now, and I tend to work a lot with nurse practitioners, but I've also been working some with some teachers and professors. And a little bit more about myself. I've been married to my wife Ashley for 5 years. We've been together over 10 years, and I'm excited to say on November 12th we're going to have our first child. Her name is going to be Sadie Ruth. Sadie is named after my grandmother, and then Ruth is from the Book of Ruth, which was in our wedding vows. And so, again, I'm Frank Duvall. If anyone in the Middle Tennessee counties needs anything, any questions, feel free to reach out to me at any time. Now it's my privilege to introduce Tim Sharp. And so Tim will give a little overview of who he is. Tim, how you doing, bud?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thank you so much. Well, again, my name is Tim Sharp. I do appreciate the opportunity to be a part of the webinar and a part of the Professional Educators of Tennessee. Very excited about that opportunity. I am a Ray County native, live in Dayton, lived here all my life, just north of Chattanooga, so that does put me central to southeast Tennessee. I am actually fairly new to Capital Financial Group, but actually got my start in the business back about 9 years ago. So started out in the payroll voluntary group benefit market, and actually have spent quite a bit of time working with professionals in school systems, and honestly gave me an insight, if you will, an understanding of how busy educators and folks in that sector can actually be. I am a very no-nonsense, straightforward, practical kind of guy, I guess you would say. I guess a few of my strengths or my positive points would be I am a relationship builder. To me, it's all about service. Love the opportunity to sit down and build relationships. I have a little bit of property casualty background, some Medicare background, but my passion has always been, I guess you would say, sitting down and just having conversations with folks, learning where they're at, what their goals are, what their needs, what their concerns are, and then being able to come back and make a plan and assist folks that way. So I am active in my church, teach Sunday school, active in my local chamber in Dayton, and just excited about this opportunity. So that's a little bit about me. Again, Tim Sharp. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Tim. Again, Tim Sharp is representing Southeast Tennessee, the Cumberland Plateau region. So any questions or any concerns, definitely reach out to Tim. I love that about you, Tim, that you're a very relationship-driven guy. So I appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
All right. Our fourth representative is Brent Christian. He is in northeast Tennessee, and unfortunately Brent wasn't able to join us tonight, but I'll be glad to share with you a little bit about Brent. So Brent was born and raised in Knoxville, Tennessee, and he is a graduate of Bearden High School. He was the food and beverage manager at the Knoxville Convention Center during his undergrad years. Attended the University of Tennessee and graduated with his Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. In his spare time, Brent enjoys spending time with his family, the outdoors, and obviously UT athletics. So I've known Brent for a while now, and he is a great guy. He I kind of view, to be honest, I feel like all four of the reps are very relationship-driven guys, and I'm excited to be serving with these other three guys. But I think that's really important. So Brent is someone that will be a really good resource for you, the folks in Northeast Tennessee. So that's Knoxville over. So feel free to reach out to him anytime. Okay. All right. Well, the next part of what I wanted to discuss with everybody here is what exactly do we offer? And so we're offering folks objective strategies with regards to their financial needs. We have a team of experienced professionals in products and services from top-tier companies. So to elaborate a little bit, we have an entire planning team that we work with in our home office here in Nashville, and we utilize them from doing complex estate issues to debt snowballs. And one of the good things about working with us is we do have access to over 50 different companies that from investments to insurance that we're able to utilize. So that's another benefit of being able to work with us. Our philosophy. So to harp on what Tim was saying about being a relationship builder, that is our philosophy. Develop a long-term relationship with strict confidentiality that is focused on meeting our clients' needs. And that is something that I think is just so essential to the process, because there's a lot of life changes over a long period of time. And so to be able to meet those needs for our clients is really important, because things change. So even plans change. So you may have a kid at one point, and that'll bring all sorts of challenges, right? And then obviously later on down the road, that kid is out of the house, and you've got other goals and concerns. So another part of our philosophy is we work with your current representatives. So a lot of people we work with maybe work with CPAs. Maybe they already work with an insurance person, such as their casualty and properties folks. Or maybe they also use an attorney for different things. And so the benefit with working with us is we're able to coordinate between all those different benefits to make sure that it's cohesive to what your financial plan is. And so that's financial planning in a holistic sense. So we're proud of that. We're proud of that being our philosophy. And so to sum up there, we're also educating you on your alternatives so that way you can make your own decisions. And really, we just want to develop a resource center to provide up-to-date information for you in your particular situation. So again, that's just making ourselves available to you. Our clientele, typically successful professionals and business owners who have not had time or expertise or the inclination to manage their finances as professionally as they manage their businesses or professional lives. And so really we just we step in there, and we're taking some of that burden off of folks, because life is busy. And so the good thing is we're able to help organize and get things in a way that our clients are able to move on with their lives and focus on the things that are going to be more important to them. And typically that's business related, but at the same time, they'll get to enjoy their lives a little better. So another thing that we end up doing is people that are experiencing gaps in their services. Again, mentioned how we coordinate with other representatives. Sometimes those representatives aren't present with our clients, and so we're able to bridge those gaps. And so that's a good thing for our clients, because we want to make sure that all the puzzle pieces are there and put together and organized. Okay. All right. So this is just a list of some services that we offer, and so we break it down into a few blocks. Okay. So protection strategies being the foundation, kind of like a house. You want to make sure you have a strong foundation. Otherwise, everything else is going to fall apart. So when we meet with folks, we're talking about cash flow analysis. We're helping them with debt management, building that emergency fund. We review legal documents and look over life, disability, income, and long-term care. Now, the legal documents, now we aren't attorneys. Now, we do have plenty of relationships with attorneys, and that is what we end up bringing to the table is when we work with our clients and they need to make sure that they have the legal documents in place, we want to help them make sure that if there's financial stipulations that that those are going to be covered in those legal documents. So we'll sit in on those meetings. We'll do whatever we need to help our clients make sure that their wills and powers of attorney are done, and also to make sure just that estate planning side of things is taken care of. Wealth management strategies. So really, it's pretty simple. That's usually what most people think of when they think of financial planning, is they're thinking of retirement savings. And so we help people with that, with the retirement savings, with retirement income. So how do I make this money last is usually the question. So retirement income, tax reduction strategies. Now we're not accountants, but we do have folks in our planning team that help with the strategies of reducing taxes. And then we also have the relationships with accountants as well for whenever the time comes. And then obviously education planning is a pretty big part of what we do. So a lot of times we have folks that have kids and they want to save for college. So we have different strategies for that. The third block of how we help people is legacy strategies. A lot of people like to be able to have the opportunity to give, whether it's in their lifetime or after their lifetime. And so we help them be able to accomplish that. So the way that we do that is we're looking at, what kind of charitable organizations do folks like? Now, do they want to give to a specific charity whenever the time is right, or do they have heirs that they want to leave things to? So we help our folks with those sort of things as well. All right. So that's just a basic summary of just the services that we provide. All right. So, okay. So how do we work with PDT members? All right. So to simplify things, let's separate a teacher's career into 3 different time periods. There are obviously new teachers, folks that have just started their careers, and then there's teachers that are in the middle of their careers, have been around for a while, and then obviously teachers that are 5 to 10 years from retirement. And so goals and concerns are different for each of them. New teachers may have concerns like paying off those student loans, those pesky student loans, and how to do that efficiently. New teachers also, may start having their own families, and that creates a new level of concern because they're having to figure out budgeting for their family. Or another common concern would be, what would happen to their family if they don't come home one day? Would my family be okay? And so those are some things that might come to mind for new teachers, and those are some things that we'd be able to help them with. Now, mid-career teachers may still have some concerns with debt, but the focus may start shifting more towards retirement. Now, folks that are in this bracket, they may be nervous because they aren't sure how much they need for retirement. Then again, some of those mid-career teachers may be too consumed with work and family, especially those teenagers that they have to feed. So I don't have teenagers yet, but I'm pretty sure that I'm about to get a taste of that myself. So so those are some of the concerns that mid-career teachers might have. As for pre-retiree teachers, pre-retiree teachers usually are doing what they can to save as much as they can, while they can. Not only their health, but perhaps the health of their parents are concerns. How might those circumstances affect retirement? What if during retirement I need some sort of in-home assistance or need to go to a facility? So those are some of the concerns. And then obviously, how should I pull money out during retirement? That's something that's a really heavy concern. How much do I need to have? Am I going to run out? So, these are all very real concerns for teachers, and not just teachers, but I think for a lot of people that these kinds of things can really be weighing on them. So, obviously, concerns and goals are usually different from person to person, and as I mentioned earlier, they do change over time. But in summary, just want to mention that we are here as a resource for you. We will be doing a regular webinar every month, and we will cover some different topics. And the cool thing is that you're going to be able to hear from each of us, each of your financial service representatives. And so I'm excited about that because, we'll each have a different perspective and a different idea to bring each month. So please feel free to reach out to us anytime. On this slide, we've got just contact information for everybody. I probably should have put a picture of everybody on here. I apologize for that. I think that's something that we'll rectify for the next one because it's hard to get a personal interaction with folks over the internet. So I think being able to see who you're talking to is a big deal. But again, Byron Peachers, West Tennessee. I'm with Middle Tennessee. Tim Sharp is Southeast Tennessee. Brent Christian is Northeast Tennessee. And someone that we didn't have a chance to introduce you to tonight as well is Chris Robinette. He is a partner with us. He is the liaison between PET and us. And if there's ever anything that you're having questions with, you're always welcome to reach out to him as well. And in closing, that's pretty much us in a nutshell. So please feel free to reach out. Samantha, are there any questions online there?
We don't have any. Is there anything you can think of, Byron or Tim?
One thing, if I might interject, this is Tim Sharp, by the way. One of the things, if you were to ask me what makes Capital Financial Group, what differentiates us between other folks in the business that do what we do, I think my first response would be is our process. And I think I can speak for all of us. We are fact finders. Our approach is simply this. We don't know what to recommend or what to suggest until we actually sit down and have a conversation. And again, we start on the bottom. We lay a solid foundation. Frank mentioned a couple of things, the different, if you will, the stages of planning and looking at things. One of the things I see, there are folks that are great as far as accumulating and building up wealth, but if you have failed to consider the impact of inflation or taxes or those other things, down the road when you actually need those funds, it can have a great impact. So, even to the folks that are already working with an advisor, we're not out to take anyone away, but I would just simply say this, it never hurts to have an extra set of eyes looking over the process, and if there are gaps, of course, we uncover those on the front end and address them accordingly. So, again, we're just excited about this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Tim. Appreciate the input there. How about you, Byron? Is there anything in closing you'd like to add?
No, I'm just excited to work with anybody that's interested in sitting down. We are definitely, of all the companies I've worked for, we're definitely process-driven. We have no idea what, if anything, anybody needs. So we have no place to try to push any product at all. And that's what I love about this company. Our first meetings are really, like Tim said, fact-finding. It's just asking a bunch of questions. And if we can help, we will advise where we can help. If we can't, we'll shake hands and continue to be friends. And that's as easy as it gets. So.
Very good. Very good.